PokeRamble Podcast.
It's another week of the PokeRamble Podcast, and we'll be talking about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl updates, the World Championships returning, and much, much more. Yes, welcome to episode 55 of the PokeRamble Podcast. I'm your host, Kamel, and joining me this week is the one and only Jordan from Shared Screens.
What's up, Camille? How are you today?
I'm doing alright. It's been a lazy Sunday. How about yourself?
Same, pretty lazy Sunday. Just did, pulled some stuff out of the shed and then just chilling at home.
Well, it sounds a bit more productive than me, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I've been watching the Salt Lake Championship at the moment for the VGC. Have you been checking that out on YouTube?
Funny enough, actually, this morning, I was just browsing YouTube and I saw that it was live, and I caught one match.
Yeah.
I do not remember the people's names, but it was a Charizard and an Indeedee versus another Charizard and a Groudon. And it was one of the fastest matches. The commentators were saying it was one of the faster matches.
Did the Groudon and the Charizard win? Do you remember
Yes,
that?
they did.
Yeah, I thought as much. Yeah, sounds a bit weird bringing in Indeedee into these teams, but I've been watching a few matches, and it's like seeing how people play this game, like in doubles, like doing things that I couldn't even think of doing before. It's so interesting.
The Indeedee was using Follow Me, so I think part of the plan was just to sacrifice it to put the attention on the Charizard.
Yeah.
Or to take the attention off the Charizard. But I think the person using the Gigantamax Charizard and the Indeedee assumed that his opponent would also go Gigantamax Charizard, or he actually did a Dynamax Groudon and used Maxed Rockfall. So that Gigantamax Charizard went down in one hit.
Oh, yeah. No berry on it. That's a shame.
No berry.
That's a shame. Because I remember, like, early VGC, before, like, we had the DLC coming up, I think every single Pokemon basically using berries to cover their weaknesses. And now the meta's shifted so much, I don't even recognize it.
Yeah, I've really only ever played over Showdown, and when I play Showdown, I honestly prefer not doubles, just single battles.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wish VGC kind of had different meta games the way Smogon does.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely motivate me more to like get into these sort of like regional championships and stuff like that. Before coronavirus, actually, my co-host Dammit and I were going to go to one of the matches in London and enter to compete, but yeah, that's a different timeline now. It's been 2 years. But enough of that. Have you been doing anything Pokemon wise?
So I beat the main story of Legends Arceus a little bit ago, and then been playing the post story stuff here and there. I mean, I guess the story continues after the credits is what I'm noticing.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I did get my Oak's letter. I went and caught Shaman.
Yeah.
And I even played a little bit more of Pokemon Snap. I went to visit a cousin this past week back in North Carolina, and he's always been big on Pokemon growing up, and he hasn't really stuck with it. So I was like, dude, you got to check out the new Snap. It looks beautiful. So I like played through the first couple levels with him just to show him what the differences were, and then we kept playing, and I got a little further than I was before. I was streaming that game pretty regularly, and then life got in the way.
Yeah, I can understand that. And there's DLC for it as well, isn't there?
For Snap?
I think so. Unless it's like some sort of fever dream I've had.
I haven't kept up with it. That's very possible.
I'm just typing and just checking it out because I could have sworn. Oh yeah, there was some DLC. Yeah, there was some DLC. I think it was free DLC, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like they added some. It says 20 new Pokemon and ended up in Pokemon Snap.
Not bad. Yeah, I haven't finished Snap myself. Pretty much same reason as you. Dropped off, and I'll get to it one day. But it's not
exactly
high up on the list of priorities. But there's a few things I wanna get to. So let's start off with our first segment. So this is the section of the show where we talk about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and boy, have we got a few updates on this. Now, just before I get into the updates, can you quite believe that they've just dropped a ton of stuff for this game randomly?
I mean, I wasn't too surprised. I expected when the Pokemon Day stream was announced that we'd get something from that games, and like I think I've said it on your show and I've said it on my show that like the game always felt like you knew more was coming. I'm surprised they didn't add more traditional like platinum content in, but it looks like they're getting us all the events that were going on back when these were originally on DS. So we got the Shaman event. They announced the Darkrai event.
Yeah, and well, I guess, yeah, let's talk about the Shaman event really quickly. So that's being rerun, I guess, kind of technically, but for the first time in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and people have got like 1 week left to receive Oak's letter. You don't have to go catch Shaman straight away, but make sure you download Oak's letter. I'm currently soft resetting for a for a shiny Shaman.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I pray it's going to come soon, but I forgot the shiny charm doesn't really work for this Pokemon or most Pokemon in this game. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
No, you've checked to make sure it's not shiny locked, correct?
It's not shiny locked, thankfully. Yeah, no, it isn't. I think the barometer was checking someone else on YouTube do it, and once I've seen a few people do it, I'm like, okay, it is possible then. So
gotcha.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the glitched version that people could access, in the first couple of patches. This is like the official Oaks letter version. So yeah, not shiny locked, thankfully.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, that's one of the events we're getting. The second one that we're getting is like you said, Darkrai. Darkrai's coming from April 1st to the end of the month. And guess what? Also not shiny locked. So yeah, I'm gonna go shiny hunting for this one as well.
You're a much more patient man than I am.
Do you know what? It's that thing of I'm trying to complete the living decks for shiny living decks for Pokemon, and like, yeah, I think this is going to be one of the best ways to get it. So yeah, fingers crossed for me.
Now I'm reading the instructions on how to get Darkrai. Is the Darkrai event also going to unlock Cresselia, or can you get Cresselia right now?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think you can get Cresselia without doing this. I can't remember how. Hang on, let's Google it. But I'm pretty sure you can get it already.
Yeah, it says here to get Darkrai, after you get the member card, you need to catch Cresselia on Full Moon Island and save the Sailor's Son. But I don't know if that's something you could do before you get the Darkrai event active.
Oh god, I hate these articles that just go on and make you go all the way to the bottom. So you need to get the regional decks. You have to speak to Cynthia's grandmother. No, that's not right. How to find Cresselia? Oh, you have to talk to someone in Canalife City, and then you'll board a ship and go to the island. So I think you can do it before Darkrai.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you can do that before Darkrai. So you don't need to. It's not event reliant. But yeah, people just should get the member card key like you're talking about, and then you can do Darkrai at your own sort of pace. But yeah, why do you think they've only left these events for a month and not permanently into the game? It doesn't make much sense to me.
It doesn't make much sense at all. I mean, I get like way back when these Toys R Us events were only a month long or a few weeks long, but I don't know. It seems a bit unfair. Just give it to us, or at least make it like a year.
Yeah, because people buy Pokemon at different times, and they get them as gifts, and like the Switch is selling, every holiday, and so some people are not going to be touching these games, or some kids are not going to be touching these games till the end of this year. So to have these events only last a month feels a bit strange.
Yeah.
But that's the other event. But the big one I'd say is probably Arceus or Arceus or whatever you want to call it is going to be in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, with the Azure Flute actually being able to be used for the first time, outside of things. But in terms of like Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, DPP, the first time Azure Flute is actually going to be possible to be used, and can you believe it? We're finally going to be able to catch this thing.
Yeah, finally a legitimate way to get Arceus.
Yeah,
that's not an event where they just hand him to you.
Yeah, and guess what, Jordan?
What?
Not shiny locked.
I heard, because I saw somebody that managed to get a shiny one.
Yeah, is this one that you're gonna try practice your patience on it and try get it shiny?
Probably not. I just don't. It's not that I don't care for shinies like that, but it's like I've just never had the. I like it so much more when it just happens like by chance.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I'm probably gonna have to take a few turns to catch it. Like I'm gonna definitely accidentally kill it at points, and then I'm gonna quit and go back to it. So I'll kind of be soft resetting in some ways. I went to do this after I got Shaman, and I didn't realize when they said you have to complete Legends Arceus, they mean you have to complete the Pokedex of Legends Arceus. So that's something I'm going to be chipping away
So you have
at.
to do all the main story events, which actually like one of them's locked behind you completing the Pokedex. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. So I know some people are kind of not happy with the fact that you can only get the Azure Flute in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl if you have Legends Arceus. Is that something you're concerned about, or?
I get why a lot of people think it's scummy.
Mm.
Especially if, like, at the end of the day, Pokemon is kind of more targeted towards children. Legends Arceus is not the most child-friendly game in terms of just its difficulty, not necessarily content.
Hmm.
And so I do get why some people are mad at that. I'm not surprised. Like, I knew that the second when they announced both these games that something was going to connect them,
Yeah.
and this makes a lot of sense. I'm more annoyed about you have to complete the Pokedex.
Yeah, it's not an easy feat either. There's some Pokemon that are quite annoying to kind of get
Spirit
into the
Tomb
dex.
alone, that one's going to be a bitch.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You have to find all the wisps. Yeah. Thankfully, Cerebrary's got one of those maps if you want to cheese it. But yeah.
I just have no way of knowing which ones I've already gotten.
I mean, whilst you're here, I might as well ask in terms of like the regional variants from that region. So, which one's your favorite?
Of the Hisui variants?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure I keep all of them in mind real quick. I'll say this. I'll say that Hisuian, Arcanine, and Growlithe are not my favorites. Yes, he is very cute.
Yeah.
But the hair never looked like a rock to me. And I just think making it fire rock makes it a worse type, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
I did choose Rowlet as my starter, and Hisuian Decidueye is kind of a badass. At first, when I saw the leak of what he looked like, I was like, he kind of looks doofy. But then when I saw how it actually moves and that his arms are tucked in, I was like, oh, I really like this.
Yeah. I mean, out of all three starters, I think Hisuian Decidueye looks the most different from the original form. The other two you can kind of resemble, their original sort of forms, but
he looks the most derivative, and also in a way that I feel like makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's 3 events, and then one other thing is the Global Wonder Station is now open in Jubilee City. Have you had a chance to sort of look at that?
I have not. I actually didn't go there yet, even though I was very happy that they finally put it in.
It sucks so bad.
It is strange that they are still making it a location you have to go to. That made a lot of sense in the DS era of Wi-Fi and stuff, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Once you go there, do you get the ability to kind of do it anywhere?
Not that I've been able to see, no. I think you have to go there and trade via that. So I'll have to double check that. Someone in the comments can correct me as well. But so basically, it's wonder trading, where you pick a Pokemon, you pick a location, you get a wonder trade, and it's really cool that your Pokemon that you obtain via wonder trade are shown on the map afterwards, so you can see where your, for example, Ponyta has come from, or where your, I don't know.
It's strictly wonder trading?
Yeah, you can't. There's no like global trade function like there was in the original games. That's now locked behind Pokemon Home. So you have to get Pokemon Home in order to be able to do that.
That's so strange, because I feel like, I don't know why the idea of like the global trade station hasn't just been a permanent feature. I mean, it was around in X and Y. I used it in Sun and Moon, I remember as well. But I don't know why it just hasn't been a permanent staple of, put a Pokemon up, say what you want for it, name your price.
Yeah, and I glean that we're never going to get it back now. I think this probably confirms it, with Pokemon Home now being the way to do that, and with these remakes, faithful remakes, quote unquote.
Too faithful.
Yeah. These remakes not giving us the ability to do it without Pokemon Home, so there's that. So kind of disappointing. It's cool in some ways, really sucks in most ways, but there we go. But yeah, I think that's it for the news. Do you expect we're going to get more DLC apart from these mythical Pokemon?
I feel like, and keep in mind, I haven't beat the post story of Legends Arceus. At some point, they're going to have to give us a way to bring the Hisuian forms to quote unquote present day.
Yeah,
because they're like ancient, but there's no way they're going to invent these Pokemon that are only going to exist inside Legends Arceus. Because it's not like they're shadow Pokemon the way those only exist in Colosseum and XD. Like, these are legitimate, actual Pokemon.
So, interestingly enough, there was an anime special, and like in the first 5 minutes, they see a picture of these Hisuian Pokemon, and then Cynthia kind of like, oh yep, these are Pokemon that are now extinct essentially. Like these forms, you won't be able to find them anymore, which is really funny. But then when you look at you did a reacts for Gen 9 on shared screens, but you see like a Hisuian Zoroark in the game, and you're thinking, wait, how can it exist?
Yeah, you see it in whatever the region's going to be called for Gen 9. So
yeah,
clearly there has to be some sort of a time travel thing that's going to happen as to why these Pokemon are in present day. And so I would say any DLC I expect would be some more of a connection between Legends Arceus and either BDSP or maybe Sword and Shield.
That's probably going to come at the same time as home compatibility, because I think we still don't have that yet, do we?
That's the other
this
big
game.
thing, yeah, is that there's no home compatibility. And until we get home compatibility, I mean, I'm really curious as to if Pokemon post Gen 5 exist in BDSP.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think they'll ever patch.
Yeah, because that's quite a choice in my opinion.
Well, we did a review on this, and I think most of us agreed that it kind of sucks that with other remakes you can get those newer Pokemon, but with this one you just can't. So
yeah, and I feel like they didn't even add in like the evolutions, because like Let's Go kind of stuck to the original 151, but they allowed the different forms from different gens of those original 151
yes,
Pokemon.
yeah.
Their evolutions weren't there, but I mean, like, I feel like Let's Go is such a unique thing. It's I kind of get what that one was going for.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me why you can't evolve your Eevee into a Sylveon.
No. Yeah, you're totally right. There you go. Those are Game Freak decisions, and let's hope they continue making good ones rather than ones that we
Weird
had.
ones.
Yeah, we had before. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the BDSP news. We shall move on to the next segment. Jordan, this is where I ask people what's Pokemon going on. Just a quick one, really. We've got a new event in Pokemon Go that's happening from March 22nd to March 29th. Fomantis and Tapu Lele are making their debuts in Pokemon Go, and there's a new shiny in Cottony arriving in Pokemon Go. This event will have a plethora of, grass type and bug type Pokemon appearing. A lot of them can be found in their shiny form, so if you are looking for one to add to your collection, this is a good time to try add them. There'll be special research and time research as well. I believe in the time research you'll be able to get Fomantis, so if you can't find one in the wild, then you don't have to worry too much. You'll be able to find one there. That's pretty much it. Do you play much Pokemon Go anymore, or is it a case of after the pandemic it's just not been something you've touched?
So it's not even an after the pandemic thing, because I mean, I played Pokemon Go fairly regularly from when it came out, even during the pandemic. I know some people fell off after year 1, some people fell off after year 2 and came back for year 3 or something like that. I honestly just stopped playing probably around like beginning of last year. I think I was just stuck in the house because my family had a COVID scare. So it wasn't like when the pandemic originally started, me and my family were still going out for, like our daily walks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at some point, I just stopped playing. People around me stopped playing, so I had no reason to open it up. I used to open it up regularly when I knew I'd be around Pokestops and stuff, but now it's like, because I can't guarantee that, I don't go out of my way anymore.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
at least you know where you're going these days.
Pokestop.
Because most people, when they're playing the game, don't look where they're going.
Yeah. Maybe once the weather gets nicer, I will get back into it. It's an excuse to kind of walk around, get some exercise.
Well, they've been doing these sort of toured events where there was a Kanto tour not too long ago. Then the most recent was like a Johto tour. Maybe something like a Sinnoh tour, where it's like a day full of like Sinnoh Pokemon and special events regarding like Sinnoh Pokemon. Maybe that's something that could get you back in,
Maybe. I actually do really like the Alolan Pokemon, so I mean, that might get me in just to get at least a Vikavolt.
That's actually one of the stronger Pokemon in this game, surprisingly, Vikavolt.
Nice. I'm happy.
So yeah, he was given injustice in the actual games because his speed stat was so low, but in Pokemon Go it actually benefits him.
It's so funny how slow his speed stat is, but then like his Pokedex description talks about how quick and like nimble he is.
Yeah, one of those Pokemon professors are lying. Gonna find out who. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, when I was working in the office, we used to have like a Pokemon community in that town. So lunchtime I'd meet up with people, would play for an hour, and then I'm the same as you. I only log in now whenever there's a sort of event that I'm interested in and play that. But yeah, apart from that, I don't really play too much anymore. But this looks like a cool event. I mean, I do like Formantis, great design, and Cottony's got a nice shiny, so I'd probably like to get one of those. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this section of the show. We shall move on to the next. So you want to be a Pokemon Masters. I'll make this quick because I know you don't really play this game, do you, at the moment?
So funny enough, I tried this game when it first launched. The day it launched, I had a long bus ride, and I was like, "Hey, let me give it a shot. I have nothing else to do." And maybe it's just a matter of like things not meeting expectations, but like I feel like when they described this in that original Pokemon Presents or Pokemon presentation, I think it was, I got a very different vibe as to what this game would be. And I know what it is now, and I respect it, but it's just not for me. The battling system's a bit too different for my liking, and I also was a bit disappointed that you don't have an OC. I thought it was very much a make your own trainer and exist in this world.
Oh, like a cut out template trainer, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, my headphones just completely fell out. I didn't hear what you just said. Sorry, if you just want to repeat yourself.
Yeah, sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's just I think you're like a default version of Red. You get a Pikachu to start, obviously. And then you don't even have to keep playing with that character because you can just make your 3 people completely different. So
yeah, you can make your own teams and stuff like that. Yeah. I think in the story content, your original character is seen, but when you get to the battling content, then you can sort of switch it up and choose different pairs and whatnot. But no, I respect it. I mean, the game's come leaps and bounds since, and I will say one thing, Jordan. Just listen to the music from YouTube, because man, the composers in this game have done a fantastic job, and I kind of wish that with like the Diamond and Pearl remakes, that these guys were in charge of the soundtracks rather than whoever we got, because honestly they sound a lot better.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that then, because I love me with some Pokemon music.
Yeah, no. Mr. Mitch George always says, he has this argument with his friend, what's better, Kingdom Hearts music or Pokemon music? Where do you come down on that?
I've never played Kingdom Hearts, so I'll just say I come down on Pokemon music.
Nice. He'll be happy. So just quickly, actually, I'll go through this sync pair. So we've got a new sync pair. She's a master pair, which means there's a 12% chance of getting a 5-star, and she's 1% within that 12%. So she's a dragon type user, but she's got a ground type move in 1,000 waves. That's 4 bars, which applies restrain effect to the target. She has die hit plus that can raise her critical hit by 2 stat ranks. She's got core enforcer, which is just a 4-bar dragon move, very powerful, and Feel Our Feelings is her other trainer move, which raises the attack and special attack by 6 stat ranks and applies the gradual healing effect to the user. Her sync move is Ecosystem Core Enforcer, which transforms Zygarde to its complete form to the end of the battle. And it's not like a Mega Sync where the power is reduced. This is actually a full power sync move, so that's pretty nice. In terms of skills, she has Kalos Flag Bearer. So basically, every time you've got a Kalos unit in your team, the power of your moves are increased by 10%, and the damage reduction is increased by 3% for a maximum of 30% damage and 26 prevent damage. In terms of her other passives, she's got Strong Start 1, which increases the user's physical moves next up effect and special moves next up effect by 1 rank, which basically gives her like a 40% boost to her attacks to begin with. Head Start 1, which reduces the user's sync move countdown by 1, which is not all that, doesn't really matter too much. And you've got Restraining Sync up 5, which powers up the user's sync move when the target is restrained, which is currently bugged, so hopefully they fix that soon. In its complete form, you get Piercing Gaze, where moves never miss, Impervious, where stats cannot be lowered, and Power Hold 5, which powers up the user's moves when the target is restrained. So I've kind of got her sync grid up in front of me. Basically, 1 out of 5 is totally fine. this unit is busted beyond belief. But if you get her at 3 out of 5, you unlock her Sync Nuke. So you've got Brain Power, which is basically the special version of Haymaker. You've got Soften Up 1, which basically means at +2 crit, you're guaranteed to always crit on your sync moves. Hold Hostage gives you like a passive boost to your damage, because you're always going to use 1,000 waves to restrain the target. And yeah, I've chosen both the sync move nodes to make their sync nuke even more powerful. In terms of her stats, she's got a base 424 attack and 332 speed, which goes to 508 attack and special attack and 398 speed, which is super strong in terms of unit. I think it's the second strongest in terms of stats in the game. She's got a very strong nuke move, very strong sync nuke, which is behind the tech units of Rayhan, Champion Iris, and Lucas. But since she's a striker, she can hit every single target on the field when you EX her. She's got a very strong ground move, only second to Groudon. So if you don't have many ground pairs, then I think she's well worth pulling. And in terms of teammates, you want to use Lucas for Dragon Zone, Sycamore for like special defense and speed buffs, and to add to the Chaos Flag Bearer. Or you can use Diantha and Keldeo to debuff the opponent and contribute towards Chaos Flag Bearer. So should people pull for this sync pair? I'd probably say yes, just because, you know, she's a master fair sync pair. They don't come around often. In fact, we haven't had a rerun of one just yet. She's insanely powerful. She's got 2 very good AoE moves, one of which covers a type that we're lacking in ground. If you have got Groudon and you've got Sygna Suit Leon, or another powerful dragon pair like Champion Iris, then maybe you can get away with not pulling for her. But my general recommendation is you probably want to get her. So if you've got the gems, I'll probably go for her. But that is it in terms of the sync pair summary. So I'll move on. Sparing Jordan any more of this.
Character?
Sorry?
No, it's fine. Like, she sounds really strong, but is she some sort of a canonical character? Because I know, like, we've had Cynthia, we've had Sycamore, we've had all the champions come through.
Oh, Serena. She's the Gen 6 female protagonist.
Oh, it's Serena.
Sorry,
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Sorry,
no, I didn't
yeah,
pick up on
Serena
the
and
fact that it was
Zygarde. I might
Serena.
have not mentioned that, but yeah, she's got another pair in Delphox, and her in a normal outfit. But
yeah, that might be it, because I didn't recognize the outfit either.
Yeah, no, and she's got like an anime like short hair and whatnot. Yeah, like canonically in Pokemon Masters, there's a person in Pokemon Masters that designed these kind of like dresses and outfits for characters to make them, you know, resemble their Pokemon a bit more, to enhance the connection, quote unquote. So yeah, that's the meaning behind Sygna Suit, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but she's insanely powerful. And yeah, I'd recommend most people get her. But if you've got Groudon and if you've got like Sygna Suit Leon, then maybe you can get away with not pulling her now. But I wouldn't risk it, because we haven't had a rerun of someone like Leon who came last year yet. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Let's move on to the next section. So this is the any other news section, where I'm happy to announce the Pokemon World Championships that was originally set in 2020 will be coming to London on August 18th. Yay! Is this something you would travel down for?
Probably not, but I mean, I'd love to see London someday. That's
Yeah.
not just, I don't know if just going to watch the World Champions would be enough to get me there, but that's
No,
cool that it's
yeah.
being held there this year.
Yeah, I'm so excited because, well, obviously I live in London, but 2, like I haven't been to like an esports sort of like tournament thing before, and like watching these like VGC videos on YouTube, it makes me really excited to see what would be up front and see what people's reactions are when, like, you know, someone uses a Pachirisu or something like that during a battle. It's gonna
That
be
Pachirisu thing, like, that was before I was really, even now I don't know about the competitive scene too much.
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten better at learning how to build competitive teams, but I've never really paid attention to like people that are big in the competitive scene, or like what the current metagame is that much. But that Pachirisu broke news everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected it. Like, you'd never expect anyone to use a Pachirisu, but there it was, and they actually did, you know, a lot of work. Like,
Yeah, I think how I discovered it was through a meme of somebody posting a screenshot from, I think it's Karen in Gold and Silver, who goes, you know, strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, real trainers win with their favorites.
yeah,
Yeah.
And you just see how I've discovered it is like a meme of Pachirisu just standing on top of a Garchomp, and I'm like, oh yes, this looks awesome. Yeah. So actually, it's not just Sword and Shield that's going to be there. In terms of games represented, they're going to have like tournaments for the TCG, Pokken Tournament DX, Pokemon Unite, which actually like I still play every day practically. So I'm really excited to see like other teams face each other at this World Championships, and like Pokemon Go, which is basically, I think out of all the games there, probably for me, Pokemon Go is the least sort of exciting one to watch, because you're literally just watching people tap a screen and switch Pokemon regularly.
Yeah, I feel like the battling in Pokemon Go is really just. I'm not gonna say there's no strategy to it, but
Oh, there's definitely strategy. It's just boring to watch.
and I feel like the strategy is not what you do in the moment per se. It's much more of a, okay, let me make sure I get a 4-star of the Pokemon I want to use, and then let me just keep changing its TMs until the RNG finally gives me the moves I want.
Yeah, pretty much. You're not too far off actually in your analysis. It's basically pick 3 Pokemon, pick the moves you want to use on them, and hope the other team is not gonna have counters for it. And that's what it seems like anyway. And I've got a friend who's big into Pokemon Go PvP, so I'm hoping he doesn't listen to this. But yeah, so the World Championships is coming, and there'll be like a temporary pop-up store again in the UK. I think you're gonna have to have tickets to access the store. So I think if you've got a ticket to watch the World Championships, then you can probably access the store. At least that's how it was going to be like in 2020. So yeah, we haven't got any details on tickets just yet, but we know it's going to be held at the Excel in London, which is quite a big venue. So yeah, exciting.
And so you're
times.
Definitely going. Since
yeah,
there.
definitely, nice. Yeah. Oh, well, subject to me getting a ticket, but yeah, I'm very much interested.
Yeah.
The other thing is, Pokemon Go is getting a TCG run. I don't think there's been any cards revealed just yet, but there's a set of 3 boxes that will be coming out on the 1st of July. With that, there'll be like a premium collection box, a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box as well, and these team collection boxes. What team were you in Pokemon Go?
Oh, Instinct all day.
Instinct. Oh, one of those. I was Valor, but that's mostly because my soccer team or football team plays in red.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know if the stereotypes in the UK are the same as here.
Yeah.
In the US, but to me, it was always like Valors or like the bros who like only remembered the original 151. Usually cheat at the game.
Yeah.
Mystic was a bunch of people who thought they shit marble, and then Instinct was the underdogs.
Instinct was like, yeah, we refer to the Instinct logo as the special ones, you know. Just
this friend of mine one time, like when Pokemon Go came out, I was like, fuck you, but this joke is so good. She screenshotted her Pokemon Go screen and she went, hey, does anybody have this glitch where sometimes the gyms are yellow for some reason? I was like, yeah, that's a good one, but that is fuck good. You.
I think since the early days of Pokemon Go, I think the sort of like team stereotypes have pretty much gone away now. I don't think anyone really gives a shit about teams. Yeah. But do you will you be tempted to get yourself a Team Instinct box, or?
I really want to see, like, have they revealed what the cards look like?
I haven't. Right? No, I haven't seen that yet. But I'll tell you, the website I usually go to that always has like daily news on Pokemon TCG, which is really good, is pokebeach.com. So if you are going to see, like the TCG for the Go products anytime soon, you'll find it there first.
Well, I'm just really wondering, like, I'm curious, like, I think it'd be really cool if the Pokemon card was like it looked as if it was in Pokemon Go. So like if you catch, let's say if it's a Squirtle, let's say it's it's in front of a real life waterfall or like a pond or something.
Oh my god, that is genius.
Yeah, I feel like that would be, because other than that, like what separates the Pokemon Go TCG cards from any other?
Now you're making me have my like tinfoil hat on and think that there's been a lot of times where they've had competitions for people to like snap pictures of Pokemon. I wonder if they're going to use like those photos from the competitions for these cards now.
Oh yeah,
you've opened up all these possibilities. What I do expect though is they're going to be like full art trainer cards for each of the like team leaders.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And the last thing in the roundup is that the Pokemon anime is getting another 1 hour special on the 1st of April. It's not a prank. This is to celebrate 25 years of the anime. I think when they said to celebrate 25 years of the anime, I think the hour is to celebrate the 25 years anniversary. I don't think the episode's going to be like sort of like a flashback to the old episode and all that kind of stuff.
It's not going to be a clip show.
No, exactly. But we're not going to get an episode next week, unfortunately. But yeah, do you watch the anime at the moment or?
At the moment, no. I've been up and down with the anime throughout the years and stuff, and like currently most media I consume is like what's at the top of my list, just because I juggle school and work, and
obviously you got your own podcast as well where you review shows and stuff.
Yeah, so the Marvel shows take priority because I actually make content about those. But I've been very interested in this is Pokemon Journeys, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I've been very interested in this one because it sounds like it's so different than like the other anime adaptations that we've seen so far. Because like they never did like a traditional series where Ash goes through Galar, correct?
Yeah, they haven't done that. No, there's like mini arcs and stuff like that. I think the best way to describe this to people is how in Legends Arceus you've got the hub in Jubilife, and then from the hub you go to different locations.
Yeah,
this is how this anime is sort of set up. They've got a hub, and then like they can go to different locations, and what I find really refreshing about this anime, and I think is like the best since X, Y, and Z. It's probably like top 3 best series ever. But what I like about this one is like Ash is basically, we've seen him go through so much, people recognize him now and people give him his fair dues, and you can tell like as a trainer, Ash recalls things and he meets old like friends and like old trainers and stuff like that.
Some level of continuity.
Yeah, it's got a lot of continuity compared to like the other series. So yeah, it's high up on my list. I'd highly recommend it whenever you got time, or you can just binge it when it's done.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, correct?
I think so. Yeah, I think it is on Netflix, and they've been releasing it in like I think 24 episode or 36 episode batches. So yeah, no, it's one I'd highly recommend. There've been some hype battles as well in there, and some good episodes in terms of storytelling, which you wouldn't typically expect. But yeah, no, that's
Pokemon
really.
Journeys and Pokemon Master Journeys.
Yeah, I think Master Journeys is just like a follow-up season from Journeys, obviously, but
gotcha.
Yeah, I watch it in Japanese and they just call it Pokemon 2019. Just yeah, it's I don't know what the Japanese naming convention is all about, but there we are. We shall move on to our favorite section. Jordan, where the Helioptile is Pokemon Sleep?
I want to ask where the Helioptile is anything from that Pokemon presents or presentation. Because I feel like other than Masters, has any of that stuff come out?
I don't even remember it, to my shame. I mean there was a Pokemon Go Plus, which we've heard nothing about, which was linked into Pokemon Sleep.
Well, yeah, that one's part of Sleep. So like those things never came out. Was that the one where they announced that Detective Pikachu was getting ported and a sequel?
Oh, actually, you might be right. Yeah, I think we haven't heard anything about the sequel since, have we?
No, and I figured that before the sequel, we would get the port that they were talking about. But I could also see if this is a situation from what I've heard from games journalists about what's basically happened with the Metroid Prime series, where if the allegation is that basically the Metroid Prime 1 through 3 remakes are ready, but Nintendo doesn't want to put them out until Prime 4 is about to come out. So if work on Detective Pikachu 2 got disrupted because of the pandemic and whatnot, maybe that's the reason we haven't gotten the port yet.
Perhaps. Interesting. I'll run with that theory till next week. so yeah, we're waiting for like Detective Pikachu to come out, and then we'll get something about Pokemon Sleep afterwards. I'll run with that. But yeah, no, it's just a shame that it hasn't come out in such a long time, and with Darkrai being in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, you would have thought you'd need a counter to it, but apparently not.
Yeah,
apparently not. But that's it for this week's segment of Where the Helioptile is Pokemon Sleep. And to round out the show, it's Unknown Fact of the Week. Now, it's going to be a quick one because guess what, Jordan?
What?
Did you know that Zygarde is currently the last Pokemon in alphabetical order in the Pokédex?
Listen, man, I think Zygarde got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways. I will never not be convinced that a Pokemon Z was in development and didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I mean it's weird because I remember in X and Y you encounter Zygarde in the Terminus Cave without any sort of prompt by anyone or anything or any sort of mention. It was just there.
He was just
Yeah.
there, and then I remember there being, like, sections of the region that were blocked off that I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh,
the power
when."
construction place.
Well, I just remember there being a few different ones, like, I can't remember them off the top of my
Yeah,
head,
yeah,
but I also remember in Diamond and Pearl, you had sections that were blocked off that when Platinum came out, suddenly weren't. And I was
mm,
like, "Oh, that'll happen in Z." And there was such a big emphasis on him with his different forms and then having to catch the cells in Sun and Moon.
yeah. It's kind of
And
weird, isn't it? Like there's a few Gen 6 Pokemon that didn't become relevant until like Sun and Moon. Like Magina as well was another one that was
yeah,
supposed to be in Gen 6 but just ended up getting pushed to Gen 7. It's so weird.
yeah. I don't know if I've told this story to you before, but I used to work at GameStop from around like 2015 to 2018 ish.
Mm,
And one of the nights that we had to stay to do marketing is like, you change out what's being advertised and what's not. And they give you like the little map of, hey, in the Nintendo section, replace, Super Mario 3D World with like Toad Treasure Hunter or something like that, right? They'll tell you what cover art to put up. And one time when I was looking at the map for the 3DS section, they're like, on the left, put Pokemon X, and on the right, put Pokemon Z. And I was like, wait, what did I miss? And I bring it to my not manager, but like the guy who was above me that was helping me do this. And he's like, "Whoa, whoa." And we start looking through all the cover art that they sent us. And there were some for X and Y. And basically it was a typo, but we joked that they did not know the gravity of this typo.
yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. I think people underestimate how huge this franchise is, isn't it? You just
Yeah,
think of Pikachu and think, oh, that's cute, and let's leave it at that. I
I
almost
know.
forgot, by the way, Jordan. Episode Golduck. Any associations with Golduck?
So I told you earlier that like I went to see a cousin last week. Me and him were talking about Pokemon.
Yeah.
I revealed to him that there's the whole conspiracy theory that Golduck and Psyduck's names are swapped, and that
yeah.
because it doesn't make sense that the yellow duck is called the Psyduck,
Yeah.
and then the blue duck that looks like it could have been and should have been a psychic type
Well,
is
his
Golduck.
little like ruby in his head like has got psychic powers that come out of it as well. So it's so weird.
Yeah, so definitely something there got switched. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they ditched the psychic type and then made Starmie, but then the American translations just fucked up,
Yeah.
or the English translations.
Yeah. No, I can go along with that. All I'll say
Yeah.
about this Pokemon is it's a quacking Pokemon.
Ah.
But yeah, that's been the 55th episode of the PokeRamble Podcast. Jordan, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Jordan_Deeb, or they could follow the other podcast I do at twitter.com/shared screens, where you'll find our links tree and find the links to all our other YouTube channels and what podcast services we're on, etc.
What's one piece of content on shared screens that you want to sort of promote that you've done
Oh,
recently?
so I'll push this one since
Mm.
you're overseas. Is I was not forced. I agreed to it, but I watched season 1 of Bridgerton for the first time last month, and me and my best friend, who I brought into shared screens with me, Leanne Jass,
Mm.
she had already seen Bridgerton. She knows a lot about British period pieces from that time and romance novels and whatnot. So we did a 4-episode kind of recap of Bridgerton. We called it Tea Time. Each episode of Tea Time discusses 2 episodes of Bridgerton. We are actually drinking tea during it. We are talking shit about the drama that happens on Bridgerton. So if you're a fan of that, I definitely recommend you watch Tea Time because I wanted to beat out Coldplay Replay.
This is amazing. So wait, when you talk about the name Tea Time, does that mean that you'll be doing like Downton Abbey at some point as well on Tea Time?
No, so Tea Time thing came from it's a little bit of a double entendre where it's old-fashioned England, so yes, they drank a lot of tea, but
Mm.
also Bridgerton has, like, a lot of sex and drama, and we wanna talk about the gossip, and, like, the narrator of Bridgerton is actually somebody who, like, writes this gossip tabloid on all the members of the ton,
Okay.
and so we're also discussing the tea, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just another way of saying gossip.
exactly,
See, I'm
yes.
British.
You got it.
That's amazing. So I'll link that down in the description. But thanks again, Jordan, for joining us, and
Anytime, man.
hopefully have you back soon. Good luck with finishing Legends Arceus and that damn Pokédex.
Thank you. I'll try my best.
And to everybody else, till next time.